Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields, and thank you for subscribing and being part of this weather community. I do appreciate that very much as we build this weather community of subscribers. Now, I want to get into the models on what is trying to develop down here, the European model, the American model, and very importantly, the rain totals we are going to see. They are way too high. That is going to be a big problem. I know a lot of us need rain, but this is going to be way too much. I want to show you the seas, how the seas are going to build, and the chance this area develops into a tropical depression or tropical storm. Now, setting the stage, let me just dive into that and then I'll expand and get to all of our weather across the Caribbean. This is today. So this is what I'm watching. We have some isolated storms across Cuba, Trinidad and Tobago. We've had a few showers around finally, and over toward Costa Rica and Panama, still that flood threat. Colombia and Venezuela, that's where the heaviest rain is going to be building, especially back toward Colombia, getting close to the ABC Islands tomorrow, and I'll show you that in the expanded 3-day forecast. Now, this is tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and here's what's going on. We're going to get a big surge of moisture, and this is very important because where this heaviest rain goes, it will be some life-threatening flooding. You see by tomorrow, all of this rain building, and in a moment, I'll show you why it's going to lift to the north. I'll show you how it really ties into what's going on in the U.S., but look at this building as we work our way into our Wednesday. These yellows and red shadings, those are big-time downpours, the real tropical rain that we're going to have in some spots, especially Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Jamaica, we're going to be right on the edge of it. So the forecast I've been going over with you the last few days in general is holding. Then by Thursday, this all continues to lift through. But as this pulls up to the north, there's still the tail end of this, still feeding in moisture in some spots, and that's just going to make the flooding even worse. So in Puerto Rico, for example, still flooding on Thursday, same thing in the Dominican Republic. And if you're on one of those weaker power grids, which I know a lot of us happen to be, we can expect to lose power mainly because of the rain, even some gusty winds. And then on Friday, the system well up to the north, but still dealing with some scattered showers and storms in the northern and northeastern Caribbean. Now, let me show you the European model. And again, plenty to cover. Here's the European model. Florida, back through Cuba. Here are the Bahamas. The Bahamas, by the way, we've had a lot of rain and storms today, not related to what's down here, but the tail end of a front through the Bahamas. We have one front here and another front here. These fronts help to draw this moisture up, and this is actually going to sneak in between these fronts and kind of lift to the north. So the fronts up to the north in the U.S. Helping to pull this moisture in. So let me take you out on time. This is today, and let me bring you into our Tuesday. On Tuesday, you see the European model, same thing as the American model. So models are in good agreement, and I watch all of them, but I also watch what's going on in the environment. I don't just look at the models. And you see here the surge of moisture starting to work in as we get into the later portions of our Tuesday, but in particular on Wednesday. So here's that time frame on Wednesday in the brighter colors. Once again, a high concern in this area, looking near Haiti, the DR, back through Puerto Rico, life-threatening flooding for some of us. Not all of us, but for some of us. This is going to be a massive issue with this rain moving in. And then you see back here, here's that next front that starts to drop in. So all of this moisture just sneaking in between the fronts and just feeding up to the north. Now, as it approaches Hispaniola, as it approaches Haiti and the Dominican Republic, I'm not seeing many signs of development. But as this passes by on Wednesday with some very heavy rain and lifts to the north, there is the chance it could spin up into a tropical depression or tropical storm as it clears the Turks and Caicos and extreme southern Bahamas, gets a little bit closer to Bermuda. For the most part, many of the models have this just near Bermuda as we work our way toward the end of the week. This is Thursday. There's the tail end of the rain. There's the front up there that's helping to steer this, and all of this continues to lift up to the north. Still some flooding rain for some of us on Thursday, and then by the time we hit Friday, here's Bermuda, and this could be a tropical storm at this point, or a subtropical storm, not just doesn't quite have all the tropical characteristics, but a system that will bring us some gusty winds to Bermuda by the time we get into Friday and Saturday. Some of the modeling then has us kind of pull out and miss Bermuda, a wait and see on that, but this will lift in. This is a huge weather maker as we're getting closer to kicking off the hurricane season. Let me show you the winds in this, and then I want to get to the rain totals and the seas. Now, and then break down the forecast. here are the winds, and I have kilometers an hour and miles per hour on this, so you can pick a scale that works for you. This is on our Tuesday afternoon. Some gustier winds in the Caribbean, and then you see that white shading in there getting closer to Hispaniola on Wednesday. We will have some winds gusting close to 86 kilometers an hour, or about 80 kilometers an hour, or about 50 miles per hour. So some gustier winds even over toward Puerto Rico. But once this area lifts to the north and brings its flooding rains more to the north, you see right through here, here's Bermuda up here. Once we get into Thursday and Friday, you can see it right there, starting to spin up in what looks like either a subtropical storm or a tropical storm. Either way, the biggest threat of this will be the flooding with this, the mudslide potential in those river crossings in Haiti and the Dominican Republic are going to be so dangerous. And a lot of the rivers are already swollen in Puerto Rico from some of the rain we had. Even over toward the Virgin Islands, St. Croix, we had some flooding, what was that, about a week or two ago? Now, here are the water temperatures. Water temperatures, 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is enough for this to develop into a tropical storm. But water temps are just one ingredient. There's a lot of wind shear in here. This orange and red shading you're seeing here, those are winds that come across and would knock off developing storms so they don't develop. Wind shear is a good thing. It prevents a lot of development. So water temperatures are warm enough. That could lead to some development, but on the flip side, there's a lot of wind shear, and that's why I'm not seeing anything that's saying this is definitely going to be a tropical storm. But once it lifts to the north and it gains some latitude, as it lifts up to the north, it'll have a little more spin. So this could become a tropical storm as it gets closer to Bermuda. Now, getting a look at some of the rain, I want to get into some of the totals. This is Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. So this is over toward Colombia and back toward Venezuela. And you see over the next few days, look at Colombia. This is off by chart, over 100 millimeters of rain, or upwards of 300 millimeters of rain. That would be about 12 inches of rain. Colombia has been hit very hard with flooding as of late. Now, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, I tell you what I know and what I don't know. I'm not quite sure how much rain we're going to get. We're going to be right on the edge of it, but hopefully we can get some. We'd be on the edge of about 50 to 75 millimeters or 2 to 3 inches of rain. If this just swings a little bit, if this moisture just swings a little bit more to the east, we could get some higher totals. If it's a little bit more to the west, not a whole lot. Hard to kind of tell for me because this area is just developing. When things are developing, it's harder to get a handle on that. But as this lifts to the north, it will be more of a developed system, not necessarily a name system, but you can see here, this rain, this is so critical. Again, please take the preparations in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic and over toward Haiti and watching the British and U.S. Virgin Islands for a high flood potential as we work our way Wednesday into Thursday. Yeah, this may shift a little bit more over here. Maybe we're okay in Haiti, or this shifts a little bit more this way and we have a huge area of rain in Haiti and we're not so okay. So point being, in this zone right here, we're going to see somewhere very intense rain. I can't stress that enough. We don't need a name system for something to be so life-threatening in this area, and that's what we're going to be seeing as this moves in. Now, Jamaica, on the edge of this, you see again the heavy rain amounts really not too far away, so any little shift in this moisture back toward the west would bring some rain into our direction. Right now I have scattered showers and storms tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Heaviest stuff would be just to the east, but it's going to be close. Same thing in parts of eastern Cuba. This is mainly afternoon rain, and over toward the Turks and Caicos, still kind of a wait and see. But this is a massive flood event that is about to take place. Now, you get a look at the seas. The seas correspond to this system trying to develop. Things are going to be rockier, thinking of my boaters, mariners, any interest in the water. As we get toward the end of the week, this is by Thursday, jumping ahead. You see the seas building here and then over toward Bermuda. This would be by Friday. Nothing too crazy for the most part, but this shows you where the storm system is going. Seas will be building in this part of the Atlantic. 3.5 meters, or upwards of about 10 plus feet. So I have feet on this scale and meters on this scale, trying to keep, again, everyone covered. So the seas, of course, building the next couple days, central and northern Caribbean, and then that will lift to the north. And this is what's going on here. So this is the moisture down here, and I'm watching all that rain and storms back through the Bahamas, even over toward Freeport. We had some hail yesterday, and another big system back toward the U.S., and you can see how this is tied in. Scattered rain and storms through the Bahamas today, some around Bermuda. Now, as we go out in time, this is later today. I want to take you from Monday into Tuesday, and as we advance, you can see how everything helps draw this moisture in. So let me stop the clock here. This is Tuesday afternoon. One front starts to leave another front starting to pull in that chance of severe weather in the central part of the U.S. for several days. As these fronts are up to the north, that moisture kind of sneaks in between, and you could see it building right there. So let me stop it here on our Wednesday afternoon and evening. That surge of moisture, so an area of high pressure has moved off because these fronts are moving in. Another front here, severe weather over here in the middle part of the U.S., and as that front moves in, it just draws that moisture up. This is by Thursday, the bulk of the rain pulling off toward the east of the Bahamas at that point, but there's the tail end of it still streaming in, and then here's Bermuda, and this would be by Friday. Kind of looks like a subtropical system, kind of subtropical in nature, so they may not name it, but the rain is the biggest threat out of this system, and we're going to see it in a big way. It's not unusual to get a named system this time of year. The hurricane season starts June 1st. Usually every other year there's a named system. The peak of the season, August, September into October, but sometimes you get a named system in May, so there is that chance that this spins up into one, and that first name on the list this year would be Alberto. We are going to get way down the list this year. There are going to be a lot of storms, tropical storms and hurricanes, but it is a wait and see on what may hit us or may not hit us. Sometimes you have very active seasons, but everything stays in the water. I need to get a handle on those patterns as we get closer. Now, things have been bubbling up somewhat in the eastern Pacific, but haven't seen much in the way of development. But Costa Rica and Panama, we're going to see that flooding again. So zooming down, a Pacific side of El Salvador and Guatemala, some higher rain totals, but Panama, upwards of 300 millimeters of rain or 12 inches of rain. We'll see some of that near Costa Rica, but mainly in Panama. And then we're way too dry with bad air quality again over toward parts of Mexico, the Yucatan of Mexico, Belize, watching Honduras. Honduras, the better rain chance will be inland, and a chance of some spotty showers possible in Nicaragua. We get up here, this is in the Atlantic region of Canada, so you see over toward Newfoundland, over toward Nova Scotia, Quebec, and then you get back here toward New England. We're going to see some unsettled weather arriving tomorrow. This is our Tuesday, scattered showers. The heaviest weather, though, building back toward the Great Lakes, and that severe weather threat over toward parts of the Midwest. Wednesday, we'll see some showers trying to exit Newfoundland later in the day. So Jamaica, as I was showing us, we're on the edge of this. A 50% chance of scattered showers and storms Tuesday and Wednesday. Please spread the word about this in Jamaica. Not that we're going to get anything big, but just if some of that rain shifts. I never want anyone caught off guard with any flooding, and that's why I do this channel, for safety. So just we'll be paying attention, of course, across Jamaica. Isolated showers and storms, Cayman Islands, at best, 30 to 40% chance in Trinidad and Tobago. It's been a little cooler, if we could call it that, a little more overcast at times. Some scattered showers will be possible today. That forecast held for Trinidad. Barbados, a 30 to 40% chance of rain for us the next few days. Same thing in St. Lucia. The next 2 days, we'll have a 30% chance. Rain chance 30% in Grenada, both today and tomorrow, and a 30% chance as well. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where we still have some water restrictions around. We need to get some rain. It's amazing how some spots are about to get absolutely dumped on with rain, and others we are too dry. Martinique, rain chance 20 to 30%. Dominica, the rain chance will pick up on Wednesday in Dominica. Better chance of some scattered showers. 30 to 40% chance in Guadeloupe. 20 to 30% chance Antigua and Barbuda, and holding at a 30% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat. 20 to 30% chance Anguilla and St. Bart's, and a 20 to 30% chance St. Martin, Saba, and Statia. But there is that higher rain chance coming at us in Puerto Rico on Wednesday. Wednesday night and Thursday will be without power in some spots because of some of the rain impacting those grids. So thank you for spreading this around Puerto Rico to give the early heads up. And then U.S. and British Virgin Islands, still kind of waiting and seeing on exactly how much rain we're going to get over towards, say, St. Thomas, St. Croix. But we are going to see that chance of rain increasing, especially later on Wednesday night, and Thursday. Same thing in the Dominican Republic. Dangerous river crossings Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday in the upcoming weekend, as that runoff will continue. And watching that same scenario in parts of Haiti, watching out for that flood potential Wednesday into Thursday. The Bahamas, very active today. I mentioned we had some hail in some spots. We work our way toward the Turks and Caicos. I'll keep an eye on us midweek to see how some of this moisture moves in. Belize, yeah, we need the rain in a big way, and we don't have a lot. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, that's one of the spots as well, seeing just how close this rain will get. But the rain chance, at least tomorrow, will be going up. So monitor this with me, of course, across the ABC Islands. Guyana, we've had the flooding. Let me know how you're doing in Guyana. Suriname too, rain chance 70 to 80% the next few days. Cuba, isolated to scattered showers and storms around, especially with our daytime heating. And then Costa Rica and Panama, that high chance of flooding over the next couple days with the focus on Panama. Honduras, this would mainly be inland, not so much along our Caribbean side. And you see the Yucatan of Mexico, rain chance next to nothing. 40% chance northern Venezuela, a lot of that western Venezuela near Colombia, where that new system is trying to develop and pull to the north. And in Bermuda, we'll be keeping an eye on this down the road to see if this system does spin up into a subtropical system or a tropical system and tries to work our way. Either way, it would be more rain and some gusty winds. So a big flood maker is on the way. Life-threatening mudslides and those river crossings. We're going to watch some structures that will take on water, some homes and businesses, because the rivers in some areas are still, while they're not completely swollen, they're still up from some of the rain we've had. So we are going to see some water in some homes and in some businesses, and this could spin up into that tropical storm or subtropical storm. Hurricane season not far off, really just days away at this point, starting on June 1st. So please spread this information for safety's sake, and I'll continue to zoom down as we get closer to the system, and we'll be seeing it developing as we go throughout the day into tomorrow. Please be safe, get the word out, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.